welcome back to the marathon that this is. So, Tampa Bay. Let us discuss the Tampa Bay Lightning. I wanted to wear the reverse retro for this, and hey, finally have a Storm jersey. So, Tampa Bay 32-15-1. They have been remarkably consistent most of the season. They had a bit of an issue at the start of the year, cup hangover, probably. So, the highest they've been on the power rankings is second. Edmund first, because Boston's kind of had that on lockdown. The lowest they've been is 16th, and that was towards the start of the year when they were having their struggles because, again, you can have that Stanley Cup hangover. Their current ranking is third. Third overall on the board. They've been very solid, very consistent. Their odds of making the playoffs, 99.6%. That's pretty good odds. It's as close to 100% as you can get, except for, of course, some of the ones that I've done already was like 99.98%, I think, for Carolina. But yeah, so they're, and of course 100% for Boston. But 99.6%, yeah, you'll take those odds. The first 10 games of the season, they were 6-4. The second 10 games of the season, they went 6-3-1. So they ended up 12-7-1 after that. 30 games in, they were 29-1. So they were 8-2 in that 10-game segment. 26-13-1 at the halfway mark. So they went 6-4 in that 10 games. Right now they're 32-15-1, meaning they've gone 6-2 since the 40-game mark. This is absolutely a remarkable run by this team, and I don't know where this ends. Usually it ends with a Stanley Cup or a run to the final. They've been in 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. They're going for their third straight cup, or third cup in 4 seasons, and their 4th straight cup final appearance. That's the plan. I would say the MVP of this team right now is Braden Point, but it can go like you could argue Kucherov, you could argue Stamkos, you could argue Vasi at points too, and you could argue Sergachev. There's a lot of really good players in Tampa. I mean, you could make an all-star team by itself just with Tampa Bay. I think you could absolutely do that. That might be a good video. It's a little bit late for me to think about that now, but which teams could you make an all-star team of just by themselves? And Tampa Bay would be one of those teams. Colorado, you probably could too, but at any rate, like I said, that's all by the wayside. Maybe I'll do that while we're in California. Their top scorers, Kucherov, 19 goals, 53 assists, 72 points for him. Stamkos, 24 goals, 33 assists, 57 points. And, of course, he scored his 500th goal, and he's been excellent. Braden Point, 29 goals, 25 assists, 54 points. Absolutely red hot at the break here. Hagel, 19 goals, 22 assists, 41 points. He's actually playing better than he did in Chicago before the trade last year. And I didn't think that was possible, but here we are. He was my favorite Blackhawk at the time of the trade. Killorn, 14 goals, 20 assists, 34 points. It may be his final season in Tampa. We'll see. We've seen them bring back guys before. This is a team that has been able to keep things remarkably well together considering their success. In an era during this this salary cap era of a lot of teams having trouble keeping good rosters together, they've been able to do it. So we'll see what happens with them. But their goaltending tandem of Vasilevsky and Elliott, one of the best in the league. Vasilevsky's been very good, and Elliott, after what was kind of a rough start for him, has bounced back quite nicely. So they're pending UFAs. I would think a lot of these guys re-sign, and if they don't, they'll bring somebody else in. Tampa Bay, very resourceful. And as they've proven with guys like Colton, with Perbix, they have guys coming up all the time that are ready to replace veterans when they leave. They have an excellent system for developing players. It is the envy of most of the rest of the National Hockey League, and it is part of the reason why this team is so good year after year after year. People will point to salary cap this, salary cap that, but the reality is, even if your team's allowed to be over the cap, just say that was a thing, you have to have a good team. You can't just buy yourself a Stanley Cup. So, I know the comment section, so I'll just leave that for a second. I'll leave that out there. All right, let's continue. They're pending UFAs. Killorn, as stated, this might be his last go-around with the team. I would expect somebody else to step in and just wouldn't be a problem. Nemesnikov has been okay in the bottom 6. He was stronger at the start of the season, I think, than he has been lately. But he is bottom 6. Belmar's been a good bottom 6 forward for them as well. He had a goal in their last game. Corey Perry, this might be the last dance for Perry. He, of course, has been in Stanley Cup Finals in 2020 with Dallas, 2021 with Montreal, 2022 with Tampa. He's in Tampa right now. So Does that mean he's going to be in another Stanley Cup final? Maybe. Can he finally win one? Well, he won one in '07, but he'd like to win one now. That was 16 years ago. Cole is a pending UFA as well. Ian Cole's played all right. I don't think he's been, fantastic. And again, these are the kinds of players that Tampa can replace if they need to over the summer. Elliott's been a solid backup. This might be his last season too. And in the minors, they have Trevor Carrick. Trevor Carrick, a pending UFA too. And it just shows there's a lot of depth in this organization. Again, the envy of most of the rest of the National Hockey League. And could they win another one? Is that in the offing? That's the question I have. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.